Hey everybody! Today I have a book to share with you called Elihu, the Musical Gnu. Now this book has a lot of rhyming in it. A rhyme is when two words sound the same, like Hugh, New. So open your ears and listen for those rhymes. Elihu, the Musical Gnu, who lived at the zoo, was in a great stew. He didn't know what to do. He had a kazoo, brought from Kalamazoo, which he blew and blew, but the tunes that he knew, and he knew quite a few, were sticky as glue. They would not come through, though he blew and he blew. He tried tapping it with a rod of bamboo, but not one sound came from the kazoo. Something must be askew, thought Elihu Gnu. I'll just loosen this screw with a quick twist or two. That's just what I'll do. So he did. Then he blew and he blew, but the notes issued forth in a queer curly cue. That will never do, said the disappointed Gnu. Indeed, it is horrid, called the bold cockatoo. Quite frankly, it sounds like a hullabaloo. Hullabaloo, hullabaloo, shrieked the cockatoo's cousin, the parakeet too. Quite correct, said the llamas who came from Peru. Why, I can make better music, declared the cow with a moo. Right, said the monkey as he reached for a chew. Shaking his fine antlers was the great caribou, and the giraffe nodded his long neck but didn't say boo. The yak yakety yacked her criticism too, and there was a catty remark from the cat with a mew. Such notes make me jump, added the kangaroo. They are even more sour than a bad witch's brew, said the pigs as they munched on their special menu. Oh dear, what can I do? Worried Elihu Gnu. He cared not for fame, that was quite true, but zoo music he felt was long overdue. Surely it is needed, he said, loud and true, to tame all the beasts in this wide-open zoo. Won't someone please help me or give me some clue to aid in the fixing of a tone-stuck kazoo? But the owl only hooted a long and loud woo! You had best forget music in this critical zoo. Reception is as icy as a frozen igloo. Just send the kazoo back to Kalamazoo. It's the only thing a wise owl can tell you to do. Take owl's advice, urged the bold cockatoo. Owl's advice, shrieked the cockatoo's cousin, and the parakeet too. Quite correct, added the llamas who came from Peru. I do agree, said the cow with a moo. Right, said the monkey as he reached for a chew. Shaking his fine antlers was the great caribou, and the giraffe nodded gravely but didn't say boo. The yak yakety yacked a comment too. There was a catty remark from the cat with a mew, and the old owl is so wise, jumped the kangaroo. The pigs grunted assent, as pigs always do. Only the lovebirds gave an encouraging coo. Patience is indeed a great virtue. So don't you give up, dear Elihu Gnu. Music is needed to tame the beasts in the zoo. That's what the lovebirds called to Elihu. So Elihu went looking for a crew to repair his kazoo. He felt almost certain that if he only knew how to unstick a sticky kazoo or how to unravel a hullabaloo of notes that twist in a sour curly cue, his problems would fade right into the blue. He raced up and down each path in the zoo, calling for help for his sticky kazoo. Yet only lovebirds did not misconstrue the wholehearted efforts of dear Elihu, who cared more for music than for fame to accrue, for music was needed to tame in that zoo. As Gnu was running lickety-poo, tired and achy in every sinew, a great storm came up and a great breeze did blew. Gnu fell on his face, and then the dust flew into the eyes of poor Elihu. Right into the nose of the helpless Gnu, who couldn't stop sneezing. Achoo! Choo-choo! And kerchoo! Choo-choo! Oh, excuse me, please. I didn't mean to. Into the mouth of his sticky kazoo. Kerchoo! Achoo! Kerchoo! Choo-choo! Then out blew gay tunes, quite bell-like and true. Achoo! Choo-choo! Kerchoo! Choo-choo! Kerchoo! Achoo! Kerchoo! Choo-choo! And not all sticky, or slightly askew, or twisted in coils like an old curly cue. It echoed melodiously, clear through the zoo. It was music that no beast had heard or knew. Achoo, kerchoo, choo-choo, kerchoo. Achoo, coo-choo, choo-choo. Different, charming, spectacular too, fresh, round, and clear as the morning dew, on the crisp green grass, and so utterly impromptu. The lovebirds called, "Bravo!" with a jubilant coo. They cried, "We knew! Oh, we knew! Patience is indeed a great virtue." But the others all wondered, who is it? Who can make music so wondrously new? And from each nook and each corner they hurried to view the great music maestro, the pride of the zoo. Not one had suspected it was dear Elihu, the persistent, consistent musical Gnu. Elihu modestly bowed with his kazoo. The beast listened enraptured as the Gnu sneezed into his kazoo. It was brilliant, dramatic, a musical debut. Elihu never dreamed such fame would accrue, that critics would praise him with much ballyhoo. Colossal, stupendous, read every review. The press kept clamoring for an interview. It was truly amazing how the news fame grew. Word spread from here to there, and even to Timbuktu. And the beast crowned their Elihu king of the zoo. Let's erect a fine statue, King Elihu Gnu suggested a few, and applauding the loudest was the bold cockatoo. "Statue! Statue!" shrieked the cockatoo's cousin, and the parakeet too. "Quite correct," called the llamas who came from Peru. Waving his fine antlers was the great caribou. Cow added her praise with a generous moo. The monkey doffed his hat and threw pennies too. The giraffe nodded approval, pushing his long neck through. The cat purred agreement with a hearty mew. And jumping for joy was the young kangaroo. The owl wisely added an ah with his woo. The pigs kept on grunting, as pigs always do, while the lovebirds blew kisses to King Elihu, the amazing young Gnu, who had charmed a wild zoo with rare patience and sneeze music played on a kazoo. Well, before I got that book, I never knew there would be so many words you could rhyme with new. And I also never heard of sneeze music before. Achoo, kerchoo, achoo, choo, choo. So, maybe you'll want to try some rhyming at home, and maybe you'll want to make a little sneeze music. Bye-bye.